Aditi is here. She's inside the hangout as well now. Let me read what she typed. She said, "Dear Father, all I see is love. Everything is love and nothing else. I have to go to work soon, so we'll watch the rest of this on YouTube." So good to see you here, my dear. It's been a few days, hasn't it?
It's been quite a while.
Yes.
I used to have a lot of questions, and I just don't anymore. And I feel like you, I don't plan anything, it just comes.
It's very wonderful, isn't it?
Yes. I still feel habit to talk about myself, or I feel myself getting tight or small sometimes, but it doesn't last. It just does nothing lasts.
And yet we see that this is the way it has always been. The only thing that's different now is my belief in the constriction is no longer there.
Right. It's so funny to think that I was so serious about that. It is the cosmic joke.
Cosmic joke.
Yeah.
How the Supreme Lord could confuse himself to be just this person. That is the divine play, the cosmic joke, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, I was talking to my friends yesterday, and it's just that's all I feel moved to talk about, if I do talk, is that the confusion people have, and just looking at them, I was like, you don't have to be confused, but I understand why they are. And I was telling somebody they felt like they had to be on a path to awaken, and that they had to do something. And I just laughed because I see now that even my pretend doing, I said the best way that I can describe it was that I felt like a caterpillar metamorphosing into a butterfly. And there was this little me thinking that I was making this all happen by doing this and doing that. And it was just all happening by itself, even the supposed journey. Everything was just happening. The only difference was that there was this little I that thought it was doing it.
Yes.
And since I've got out of the way, it's just happening. It's just, there's nobody doing anything, nothing.
It's a very beautiful example. You see. What does the caterpillar have to do to become a butterfly?
Nothing.
Is the butterfly is pretending to be the caterpillar, wanting to become the butterfly.
Yeah.
The butterfly pretending to be the caterpillar, wanting to become a butterfly. So I have the easiest job in the world. Just to remind you that you've always been only that. You've always been the butterfly. So the only thing I have to do, if it seems like something I'm doing, is just to remind you to look. Just check. Are you really caterpillar? Are you just pretending? Are you just giving too much energy to your thoughts? That's all. Basically, that's all. Because not even intellect is needed. Not even knowledge is needed. What book must a caterpillar read to become a butterfly? 101 steps to butterflydom. Or that could be a bestseller, you see. Because as long as you feel that you are this caterpillar and somebody gives you a book which tells you how to become a butterfly, That could become a bestseller. 7 steps to butterfly.
I think what's so beautiful too is that anything can happen. I
Yes.
used to think that an enlightened being lived a certain way and was on a certain path, and you had to do these things to awaken. And I really had this story in my head, and I believed it very much. And I don't see it that way at all. It's just, and no matter what happens, I thought, oh, well, suffering doesn't happen, and pain doesn't happen, and only goodness and joy and unconditional love. And then I realized what through this understanding and getting rid of the me, that unconditional love means no conditions, that anything can happen. And it's my interpretation. I thought your example with the baby was perfect. Just it cries when it's in pain and then it forgets about it. It doesn't attach to anything.
Exactly. And anything can happen, and yet nothing is happening to me, you see, because there never is a me. Once this is seen, then what can really trouble us?
Mm.
I like this example very much. Caterpillar and butterfly. I feel we can have a lot of fun with it.
Everybody was talking at our book study about awakening and the belief in how that happens. And I thought about all the teachers that I've met or read about their journey, and there was no specific way. There's no specific way that happens. It happens when it happens, and then you find out it didn't really happen.
Exactly.
uh,
Yes, the mind can have lots of concepts about how one should be if they're free. They should wear only white clothes or saffron clothes. So all of that. How can he wear comic book T-shirts and superhero T-shirts and come to satsang like this? But I feel it's very important because what's happened in the past, at least in India, is very much of this uh, aura creation, and not all of it was disingenuous. Or actually, there was something in that, but it sort of created this sense of distance. You see, that freedom is at a distance and is only available for those who are now Swamijis and have taken the vow of celibacy or something like that, and it's only available for those kind of people. So I wanted to. The feeling here was to show you that it's completely regular, completely regular. That's why I have no trouble talking about the fact that I wanted to learn programming last year, or I took my kids for the Avengers movie. All of this is just regular stuff. So whatever feels good is fine. So sometimes, like when I went to Tiruvannamalai, it did not feel appropriate for me to sit in Arunachala and then wear a very casual T-shirt or something like that. So I wore another shirt. But it doesn't mean that anything else changes. So all these are just concepts which the mind can pick up and say, but he's like this, he wears these kind of clothes, you know, he has work, he's into investing. All of these things can be barriers for the mind, and you can say, but what kind of what kind of being is this doing satsang? That I feel to convey to you that it's completely regular. What happened here is completely regular, and therefore it is completely possible for everyone. Nothing at all need to be renounced. No path needs to be followed. Just little openness. Just a little openness to check what am I in reality. And this little openness I can work with. I can work with very beautifully and very quickly, like all of you are sharing. Then, when you share, then your words will sound like satsang. You see? With no attempt to sound spiritual or anything like that. I don't feel any of you are making an effort to speak like this. It is just that these words are flowing, isn't it? So the regularness of life continues, and yet your mouth is speaking words which are so beautiful from the Sadguru himself, all of you. And may you all continue to shine in this way and bring many, many beings who come to your presence to this simple understanding.
Thank you, Father.
Well, thank you so much, my dear.
I love you.
You too.
I'm so happy.
Same, same.